Okay, once again, hello everybody, welcome back to another art stream. This is K.Ilistration, aka K9, however you may know me. I welcome you here, and I hope maybe you'll enjoy today's art stream where you might learn a thing or two from me. So, first things first, I like setting up my canvas with whatever you see fit. I'm just going to start off with like an A4 canvas. I mean, if I end up liking the drawing enough, I usually end up moving it into a separate project file, finagling with it a little bit more, making it more print friendly anyway. But, regardless of that, we are just setting up the canvas, and I usually like to have a off-white color. That's something you're going to learn from me, is I like having, I like something that looks kind of like rustic old paper. It makes my subject matter stand out a bit more. That's just something I like doing. So here we are, just in case you didn't know who Rayquaza was, if you're not savvy with Pokemon, this is who we're going to be drawing today. You guys won't be able to see the reference image, it'll be tabbed out, but I'll have it on my other monitor as a reference. And I definitely have spent a fair share of my time drawing dragons and serpents and the like, so I'm sure this will be right up my alley today. Okay. Let's see, and it doesn't really matter if I start in the middle of the page, because he kind of flows a lot, so I don't really want to restrict myself all the way in the corner. So, get my brush working, yep. There's a lot of shapes involved with Rayquaza, I think. Again, I tend to not copy the poses exactly, because that's not really the intention, but it is good to have the reference up to know what I'm looking at. So I'll probably, again, we're just mapping out everything first. Not supposed to be super realistic or anything. Something like that. He looks a little bit kind of conniving, doesn't he? Let's see. Something like that. I think I'm gonna maybe change up how he's in the air. Again, I'm just having fun with his form, I think. Something like that. Again, this is gonna probably get... This is probably gonna go through a few iterations. Something like that. Now my eyes have lost where the form is going. Yeah, something like that. Or maybe I'll join it up like that. Something like that. I'm gonna lose maybe lose sight a little bit. Something like that. He needs a bit more of a flick. It does kind of cut off a bit awkwardly. So again, I'm changing it up, I think. Something like that. I might change the pose again, but I think that's a very rough idea. I said 80, that's my keyboard, there we go. Alright, that's something. We're getting a start on it. That's what I like about using the different color pencils like this now. I used to just work in black, and it was fine. And then, you know, you would just turn the opacity down, and then eventually it's grey, and then you put the other color on and whatever, and it was fine. Like, I didn't mind that, to be honest. But I think the colors kind of break up the monotony for me a little bit. So I'm not just doing the same old, What else am I going to do? I'm also going to make sure I make a save of my project file. You should do this with any software that you use, especially in art software. But I know in particular Adobe can get really really testy if you use a project file for a really long time and you don't save. So I'm going to make sure that I actually do save the file. I'm just going to locate my art folder quickly and save it in there. There we go. So I actually do name my project files. I know some artists don't, some artists like to be a bit chaotic, but this is just something I prefer to do. And I tend to go incrementally saving, so if something goes wrong, which Photoshop has a tendency to do, I don't have to go too far back. And it's just a habit I got into from my degree. Let's see. Would you be able to... because I guess my... it kind of curves out more like that, and... like that, I guess. It's still fresh on the memory, chat. I mean, I did play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team recently, and I'm a big fan of Pokemon Generation 3, so it seemed like a very fitting idea to draw Rayquaza. He's definitely the legendary Pokemon I wanted as a kid. It would have been the one that I would have loved to take me to school, you know, hop on his back and he'll fly me to school kind of thing. So we'll just try and build up the shape a bit more, because I still haven't, you know, I still haven't mapped out his arms or anything. Where's his arm gonna go? He's kind of, are they pronounced worms? W-Y-R-M, like in fantasy and stuff like that. They're basically dragons that only have front arms and no legs. Or maybe that was the other way around. Maybe I'm thinking of wyverns, but I think worms were appropriate because they don't have wings. So I might have to brush up on my my dragonology, I think. Maybe try and work out where his arms are going to be before I get too deep into this and then realize, oh, I forgot his arms or something silly like that. Because that can be a bit awkward trying to work out where the arms are going to go because of his pose. I guess because he's facing the other way now. Alright, that's alright. Something like that. I think I'm going to have his arms face the other way now, because it's going to work more with the pose that we're in. Something like that. And I've still got to do the bits on his tail. He's got like extra, like, I don't know if fins are the right words, but they kind of are, like tail fins, I guess. And maybe I'll put one of them over here and the hand is like, you know, the hand's coming down like this, because I know with dragons sometimes the hand slopes down like this. Again, it's very rough. Because he's kind of got like a triple clawed hand, so how would I do that from this angle? There we go, something like that. I guess a little bit of his mouth here, because you got to see the other teeth. I've probably done the teeth in the wrong spot, but again, we're just mapping this out. It's like that, I guess. Again, I'm taking a little bit of artistic liberty here, but it is supposed to be my style. Alright, so yeah, this part's that bit of his body, and he's got the lines going through, whatever. And then a bit further down around here, I think is where the fins are. So there'd be one on top, like that. And then be some here. Like that. And I think the other one would be behind here. Like you can't see it too well, but we'll still kind of imply it here. Like that. So there's 1, 2, and there's 3 on his tail. Again, the third one's going to be a bit hard to draw behind him here, but I guess there'd be one back over here, so I'll make a note up here and say something like that, so I know what I'm doing. He's kind of taken up the whole page. I don't really care. I can always shrink it down later. I'm having I think I'm gonna have fun doing this. Okay. So we might just start with the next layer. I've got Nightbot if you want to add music, Bean. I think I figured out some culprits. I've updated the playlist. How's that gonna look? No, that one's like a mechanical. They call it a no, not a mechanical pencil. A carpenter's pencil. It looks like a carpenter's pencil, which my grandfather being a tradesman always has pencils like that laying around, and I used to grab them and try and draw with them, and being that the tip is very different, it was fascinating to me as a kid. Oh, maybe I'll grab this one, the storyboard pencil. That should be good. It's too clean. We want something a bit, I'm a bit spoilt for pencils, aren't I? A 4H. Yeah, nice soft 4H. It's maybe too soft. We got a 2H in this set? Is there a 2H? Or even a 2B? They're too thick, they're almost inky, which I don't really want inky. I guess we'll stick with that then, huh? Big bad boy. Yeah, no, maybe this is too soft. Maybe I need to go back to the harder 2B stuff. But still, it's looking pretty cool. Just a note to myself there, something like that. That's what chat wants to see. The big cool eyes. Eyes are always fun to draw. I feel like a lot of people can relate to that, whether you be a casual or a seasoned artist. There we go. He's got the typical Rayquaza eyes now. It might not be quite in the right place like I've drawn it, but I do like that eye, so being digital media, we can just move it over. Just up a tad, like there, and that should be fine. It's definitely a good idea to learn the shortcuts of whatever program you use. I do find that majority of art programs are pretty universal in terms of like B is for brush and whatnot, but still worth doing your research, because it definitely streamlines the process once you know the shortcuts, so you don't have to keep going and tapping all of them. I think the only issue with drawing Rayquaza today is that my drawing tablet is really small, so drawing rounder shapes can cause me a bit of hand cramp because of the smaller surface I have to work with. If you have a larger tablet or a Cintiq or Huon canvas or something, you'd have an easier time doing this. But it's fine. We'll still get it done, it's just I just gotta be mindful. There we go. Some of his teeth are actually like, I don't know, his two front teeth are like your typical, I guess, like, I don't really want to use the term banana, but like, that's how they describe like T-Rex teeth, like they're just big and white and pearly and long and stuff, like banana teeth. And then the others are like, I guess they're kind of fleshy, gummy looking, because they're the same color, they join up with his gums. It's definitely interesting design. There we go. It feels like his teeth are too far up, but we can probably fix that. Yeah, they are a little bit. Okay. Alright. It's starting to look like the deer beastie. This is gonna take some time though. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna move his teeth down. Maybe I don't have to move them down a heap, but just enough where they don't feel so vacant up there. That, I think that works for me. There we go. We went from drawing Jet the Hawk to now drawing another green character, which I think is a little bit amusing to me. Nevertheless, it is very cool. Alright, yeah. It's looking like him. Definitely, once I add some more shading and other things, there's going to be actual dimension. At the moment, he's obviously looking a little bit flat. Over here, we need to have probably a thinner brush to do what I want to do next, which is the inner part of the mouth. I'm just going to thicken that quickly. Yep. There we go. Yeah, cramping up a little bit. Just keep hydrated, keep stretching. Got to avoid the cramping up, otherwise you're just not going to be in the mood to get your work done. I think the Rayquaza I drew was also in kind of a similar pose. Not the same exact pose, but he was kind of I am noticing some minor similarities. I might bring it up at the end of the stream and do like a bit of a comparison of, I guess, the year's difference, sort of thing. It's always very tough to do this kind of stuff. To get the stroke you want. A little easier with a with traditional media in that aspect because you can turn the paper and hold it in your hand. I think I'm gonna have to work on those hands next, otherwise they're gonna get lost in the drawing. So we'll definitely have to get on top of that. I'm also not sure from the angle how much of his markings are gonna be visible. I think the Y bit is only on the chest, and then the bit on the back you don't really see. Probably because there's yeah. Star Mouse, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a pleasant day. We're just drawing some Rayquaza today. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's just going to be just those black lines that are present in this. Oh, thank you very much. I've still got a ways to go, but I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. Do you draw as well, Star Mouse? Drawing circles. I have a very small little Wacom, so I don't have a lot of space. Yeah, I feel like I can draw perfect circles in traditional media, but drawing sometimes? Oh, that's good. This is always harder to do on a tablet than it is to do on paper. Go. Because it kinda, yeah, that bit is thicker, yeah, and then it goes into like, he looks kinda like a ball and socket joint. See, Rayquaza would have made a good Lego Bionicle, chat. He's got the ball and socket joints for arms. And he would click together just like a Bionicle, I reckon, if chat remembers Lego Bionicles. Alright. Yeah, that arm goes up there. See, I'm already getting lost in my sketch a little bit. And also this is way too small. This is way too small. Yeah, I did add a lot of music, Bean, but I guess it's gonna take a minute until it catches up. Because Nightbot kind of chooses whatever order it wants to play them in. But go for it, add your stuff. There we go. And then this kind of joins up kind of like an elbow, like on a skeleton kind of. Oh, how do I draw that from this angle? Let's see. Kind of like that, I guess. I hope I can join this up. It does look like how you would draw like the tibia and fibula on an actual like skeleton arm. Well, that's right, it's this theme. Alright, no complaints. I think I might have to work this out now. In my sketch I didn't really work out the hands too well. So there'll be one up here, one there, one there. Something like this, I guess. I was thinking of aiming the claw the other way though, because he's facing that way. It's probably going to be like that. Compared to my reference image, it's facing a bit more the other direction, I think. Except from that angle you won't see the inner part of the hand, actually, so we might just change that. Trying to map a perspective for a fictional character. Very, very challenging, isn't it? You probably see a little bit of the claw like that. But probably it's just gonna be like that. Yeah, the angle's a bit, I imagine you won't see too much of the claws from this angle. I'm gonna have to think about that, if I'm happy with where that's going. And then the other hand we decided was just gonna be down here hanging out, just like kind of sloped a little bit, like drooping, because that's pretty common to happen in dragons and birds and stuff. You have like the drooping hand or foot, because they're, you know, mid-air and stuff like that. Let's see. I've had too much coffee today, so I'm just settling for a nice warm hot chocolate. Because it is cold where I am right now. Again, I made the hand too small. Okay, but I think we figured out how we want the claws to look. So you're not really gonna see the claws that much. That's fine. Maybe I should have done like an extra sketch layer where I worked out the arms instead of how I've done this. Maybe next time. I'll do it for the next hand, maybe. Gonna not make, it's gonna not make a little bit of sense, but nope. Yeah, I should have done this on another layer. We're gonna try and map this on another layer. It's alright, we'll just lock this for the moment and we'll do another one above it. It's probably going to be like that. I need to think of it more like this and then do the claws out like that. And then you won't see the other one kind of thing. That's kind of making sense now. Like that. I think there's a method to my madness now. Because the pose in question, I didn't consider that. Yeah, he does have the creases in his fingers though. He's not like robotic. Yokoso, Komurasaki-san. お久しぶりです。K9 スタート、RAYQUAZA? his hands are still... I'm still not happy with the hands. How do you... I think I'm going about this all wrong. Yeah, I'm going about this all wrong. Let's do it again. We're doing it again. I'm gonna pretend that my hand is like Rayquaza's hand. Wakarimasen, Komurazaki-san. I cannot read Korean. Yeah, delete that. Let's do it again. Well, this is, yeah, this is his left. So if it's his left claw, then we need to think like this. I think I need to improvise a bit. Yeah, like this. And I just realized this joint doesn't match up properly. But there we go, we'll fix it. That's what we're doing now, we're fixing it. Oh, that's way better. That's way better. I actually know what I'm doing now. It's like that. We need to think of it like that. And then you'd have a little bit of the claw sticking out here, and maybe a little bit of the other claw down here, just for a bit of effect. Like that. Koala's march. Now what could I know? I think, let's see. I think we got this correct now. Let's try and fix this. This is playing up for me. I guess that looks okay. I just think the line for the fingers go too high up, but other than that, it looks okay. Because the hands are closed up, so that would mean that there's a little bit of an indent here, kind of. Like that. I'll just leave the hand at that, I think. Otherwise I'm just thinking too hard on a hand that you hardly see in drawing. I'm usually fine with drawing dragon claws, it's just the angle of it. Yeah, that doesn't work either, this one. The line's too close. I know it sounds like I'm nitpicking, but I'd rather get it done right the first time. Sugoi, arigatou gozaimashita. This is very tricky. What do I have to do before I lose my pen? Alright, and I know that there's extra lines that go here, so I'm gonna draw them in before I forget. I might have to come back and look at this again if I'm not happy. I'm not sure about the hand just yet, but... iya, Komurasaki-san, RAYQUAZA. RAYQUAZA? Nihongo de? Oho. I'm not sure RAYQUAZA's name in Japanese. RAYQUAZA no Nihongo de? Actually, yeah, Charizard has hands like that too, so I understand the confusion. Same name? RAYQUAZA, huh? RAYQUAZA. Hi. Wakarimashita. Rayquaza looks like such a snake, doesn't he? Hang on, Leka. Rayquaza. Rayquaza. Hi. Rayquaza. Aha. Wakarimashita. I think this would be partially protruding, right? Because of the angle. Ah, Rayquaza. Rayquaza. Ah. そうだね。すごい。ありがとう。Rayquaza. Oh, this is gonna be, yep, okay, we got it. My hands. I'm like the my leg guy, except my hands! Good pronunciation? Arigatou gozaimashita. Keidai no baka manabu nihongo de. I've slacked off. I have not learnt as much recently. Not been practicing enough. I think it's gonna curve like that, and then maybe we'll have it go like that, kinda. Uh... Let's see, bends it over here. Bends it over here. Something like that. Maybe we can do a, maybe we can do, this is something I like to do with dragon drawing sometimes, where we curve the tail, in the opposite direction, and then we get a little bit of like a, little bit of a 3D-ish effect, kind of. I'll show you in a second. I think I did it with my Samael drawing. Repuken. Double Repuken. Hi, Geese Howard. Geese Howard no King of Fighters. Or, Capcom vs SNK ni. Hi, Capcom vs SNK ni. BGM すごい。私大好き King King 私大好きユリSakazaki Sakazaki Yuri King do 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 do. Oh, that oh, I'm gonna drop my pen. Thanks for providing music, Bean. This is an interesting, I guess, outro theme. It's alright. It's very fitting for a chill drawing stream. Honestly. It's got that vibe of you're sitting in a jazzy cafe watching an artist draw. There we go. Oh. It's alright. I'm one of those artists that I'm happier to actually overestimate my lines than I am to underestimate them, because at least it's easier to just rub out the extra bit than it is to try and add more later on. There we go. It's, oh my gosh, it's actually looking like Rayquaza now. We still need to draw in the other, there's still some lines that are missing. And what else have I got? I've got the other, spiky bit on his head. And then just the details. It's shaping up. It's shaping up. Yeah, I've got to add in the little fin sets as I've written it. I've got to draw the fins in. Add some lines. Then the details? Yeah. Yeah, and the flow's pretty good too, so it follows, because you start the head here, it follows around here, and then it goes in like that, a little bit of squash, and then it flicks over here. It's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Let's see. Now, if the fins are there, I think I might have to change where I originally thought I was going to put the fins. So... I guess that's this one here, and then there's one over here hidden. No, it's, I think I was right. I think I was right where I put them. Okay. This music's kind of goofy for a game about zombies. Guess never judge a book by its cover, eh? No clue what this part of the song is. Yeah. Maybe it's for like a shop. It sounds like the kind of music you'd hear in like a shop theme. Okay, so we're, yeah, the other set of fins is gonna be down, yeah, over here, where I've mapped it out. Like that. So that means that this is gonna cut off here or something. Never heard it in my life, and I've played the games multiple times. Maybe it's like a song that like doesn't play all the way through, and that's like an extra part. You know, like how some songs have like a longer verse that changes genre halfway through. It's alright. Timmy gave me some jams as well, and I've also added Dune marches on there. So let me give them a bit of a quick plug. There we go. Gotta plug their stuff. There's a variety today. I've added more stuff. Now this sounds like something I expect to hear in a zombie game. Fire water slaps. Made sure it isn't DRM. If you get DRM, then sue me for money. Oh gosh. I hope not. I went through my music as well, and I think Klaus Wien's stuff was very recently made no longer DMCA friendly because the game his stuff was featured in, it got really big and popular, and I guess the music's no longer DMCA friendly. So I removed a lot of his stuff. Okay, so that's 1, 2, and then there's a third set of fins which is under here that you can't really see because it's playfully obscured. Not by intention, I did not intend that, but it does kind of work in my favour, I guess. The fins didn't really bother me as much as the hands did. Checked it through a site, came through clean. Oh nice, there's a way to do that now, I like that. That's cool that you did that. Oh, I guess this is the one fin that you actually see. It's like protruding the full amount. There we go, like that. And that's the only fin you can see, yeah, because the other one, yeah, the other one's gonna be over here somewhere. And you won't really see it to draw it. Okay. So fins are done, tail's done. Okay, so in that case, I just gotta add in the extra spike, face spike thing. Oil ocean zone funk fiction? Oh, this sounds cool. I like the how the animator used the Dreamcast Sonic DJing from the old commercial. That's good. Oh yeah, Rayquaza's also missing his tongue. I didn't finish doing the tongue because I figured I was gonna, yeah, do a different thickness. That's true. There we go, like that.
Haters up.
Okay. These remixes are really fitting for what I'm doing, honestly. If I can tidy this up a little bit, that'd be nice, because it does just kind of stick out. I reckon if I give him some line weight in the background, he could look really cool on a t-shirt. Though I can do that later with the software, I just gotta smoothen the lines out, otherwise my idea won't work. And then with a little, just a little thin line, we can just add a bit. The way it has little twangs, it almost makes me think of like the San Andreas OST. Need to zoom in, I can't get the lines to match up. There we go, play that one. Haven't heard that one yet. Very cool. That's quite cool. I mean, it won't work because it's not coloured in yet, but in theory, we have it like glowing for an outer stroke. which I believe it was this one was the outer stroke. It's way too thick from like the last project I did. But in theory you would have a stroke going around it. It's not going to work at the moment, of course, but once we're done doing like the colouring, I'll make a merge layer and then we can thicken it up as much as we like. Alright. So I guess we'll just get a start on the actual colouring now. Now, last time I just did the airbrushing just loosely like I would on a regular piece of paper, but I can show chat another trick today, which might just duplicate the layer in case I stuff this up, but basically, if you really don't like colouring, or you just want to speed up your process a little bit, you can use either the quick selection or the magic wand tool. Because for drawings like this, where the lines are really clean, you can just select it like this, and then you go to a blank layer, and then with your paint bucket, you can just smack a paint job in there. Like so. And it's usually a pretty clean fill because you've done a magic wand kind of thing. But of course your mileage may vary. So that's like another method. If you're not a fan of colouring, you can just do this. So I'll just show you guys. Yeah, you hit all these sections. I didn't colour this bit, but we can just fix that later. That's fine. It's fine. And that, and the arms. And that. I think that should be all the layers. Then move back to my layer like this, and then I can just smack it like this. And this just speeds up the colouring. But yeah, it doesn't work for every project and your mileage will vary. But I just thought I'd show chat that trick. I generally have a habit of just colouring it in by hand because I'm a bit more old school like that, but this is definitely an alternative way of colouring in if you just want to speed it up. Because I can always just hop in later and I can just hop in later and just tidy it up kind of thing. You can use like a smudge tool or just the separate brush kind of thing and just keep colouring. Like this. Oh, here we go. Might recognise this one, Bean. Yep. I made sure to properly add them to the playlist now, because that was the whole intention, was to have Dune Marches play while I work. It's a bit quiet. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Is that just the... That might be a bit clearer for you now. I think the reason I don't do this coloring method is I usually have to fill in the loose pixels like this. Some people will be happy to do that, it's less coloring, but I'm a bit more old school, you know. It's good now? Okay. Good to hear. I don't really need this duplicate line layer now. It was just to kind of show the example. Okay, well, I think we filled in the pixels as best as we can. Like I said, I'm a bit more old-fashioned, so the rest of it I'm gonna just colour like I normally do. But it was worth showing chat that this is a method you can do, and for some people it just cuts down on your colouring time immensely. I think I want like this colour for the inner mouth bit, and then we want another colour for like the tongue, something a bit more pinkish. Like that. For the yellow, we need a yellow, because he's got the golden rings that glow. Could be cool to add like a glow effect, we'll see about that. I think that's more fitting for Rayquaza, like that. Right. Again, I'm going to duplicate this in case I don't like the colouring style I'm about to implement, but basically you have these layer selection bits on the side here in Photoshop. They might be in a different location in a different drawing software, but nevertheless I shall show you this. If you're new to drawing, you have different methods of layer locking here. So this is your standard layer locking, where it just doesn't let you do anything. You got the lock position, which just stops you from moving the layer, but you can still draw on it. And then, I don't really use these other methods that much, but usually I use either the regular locking or this one that's called lock transparency. So basically lock transparency is anything that is already drawn on the canvas, you can erase from it. The property of it will still be there, and you can draw over it, but you can't go out of the lines, which is what I was going to show you now. If I wanted to do my kind of shading, I could just go like that. Now, I don't have it equipped now, so this is how it would normally look. It goes out of the lines. But if you hit lock transparency, now it stays in the line, and no matter how much my brush goes out, it's not gonna bleed out of the subject. I'm still noticing a little bit of kind of like artifacting, aliasing, whatever you want to call it, but I think I'll be able to fix that later with a bit of bit more layering. So that, again, this is why I prefer my old school painting. I can do stuff like this. I guess there's a bit of a shade here from his pointy earpiece thing. Like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, but of course I'm getting carried away. There we go. Just blur this a bit. We'll clean that up still. I just want to have a bit of fun doing a bit of shading. There's probably going to be a bit of shading over here. This part will also, as well as this, because I guess it's away from the light source. Because the light source seems to be coming from the top. So we can just go down like this. Like that a little bit. I guess there would be shading on the hands too, right? Like this. And this part's been missed out from the painting, so we'll fix that too. Which is fine. It's easy to fix those little things. I've got to employ a bit more of a Bob Ross attitude. We'll be fine. There you go. So that's a form of shading there. I think that's good. Do I want a little bit of shading? No, there's like another bit of shading I might do a bit later, but at the moment this is still really kind of flat looking, so... I guess I want to maybe use a different brush though. This is looking a bit... yeah, we want something a bit more, maybe the graphite one here. I need to give him a bit more of a scaly texture maybe? Not super obvious, is it? We'll darken it up a little bit. It's gonna start having a little bit of texture. So hiya, Nightfly. Yeah, good to see you. It has been a long time, hasn't it? Thank you, thank you. I'm glad Rayquaza's looking decent. Still trying to work out the shading. It's still early days for the shading, but I mean, I'm pretty happy with the base. I think once we're done, he's gonna look pretty cool. He might look good on a t-shirt or something. Usually the stuff that's pretty successful winds up with that. Gets the special treatment. I think there's still more, like, I don't know, man, some more... He's building texture, but he's still looking a little flat. So we still got some more work to do, I think. For those of you who have seen me draw Samael, like, I'm hoping to do kind of a similar thing but with Rayquaza. Like, I know I don't have to go as scaly as I did with Samael, but something along those lines, so he doesn't just look like a flat, like, cartoon drawing, trying to make it a bit more stylistically my own. Thank you for the stretch. That's actually a very good idea. Oh, I haven't moved in over an hour. Oh. Oh. And a hydrate, good call. My hot chocolate's almost finished. My hot chocolate's gone cold, but that's okay. It's basically chocolate milk, because I put milk in my hot chocolate. So that is the upside to how I make it. It goes cold, it still tastes good. Okay. I've mentioned Samael a couple times, but some of you won't know what drawing I'm talking about, so let me bring it up and I'll show chat. I drew it earlier in the year, so it's pretty fresh. It would be... just load this one up. So here we go. Here's Samael, which was it's a dragon from Shin Megami Tensei and Persona. But again, I kind of had fun just going really ham with all the shading and stuff. I'm not going to go to this extent with Rayquaza, but I just thought I'd give an idea of what I'm talking about when I said, oh, Samael, who is Samael, you know? So this was Samael. Looks cool, thank you very much, Nightfly. I did end up doing a speed paint video on this one, and it's up on YouTube, if you want to look at it. But I was pretty happy drawing that. I had a lot of fun playing Persona, and I want to get into Shin Megami Tensei as well, because I've always been fascinated by the franchise. PS2 nerd and wanting to get into JRPGs and all that. Alright. Reheat it? Nah, I just sculled it right now. We're just gonna enjoy some, what do I got here? I got some water as well with a bit of, isotonic. Gonna try and be a bit more healthy today. Need to be a bit healthier. I have a bad habit of drinking a lot of fizzy stuff on stream, and that's fine, but it's just gonna keep me buzzing all night. There we go. Or water. Stay up and play PS2 games? I mean, yeah, you just described both my childhood and adulthood there. It's alright. I intend to do another PS2 game coming up. We've got a couple short PS2 games that are only going to take like 1 or 2 streams. It's just kind of like a, hey, let's check this out kind of thing. And then I've also got a couple games that are going to be for Let's Play, but they're probably... still deciding which one's going to be for next month and which one's going to be for September. So, yeah, that'll be exciting. But we did play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon recently, so Rayquaza was on the mind. Been practicing Sly 1 speedruns for 6 hours? Ooh, wow. Needed a break, saw a K9 stream. Aw, that's really wholesome. I appreciate it. I know speedruns can be pretty taxing, and Sly 1 is, Sly 1 was the trickiest for me, because it was very, like... it's just very Crash Bandicoot in its life system. So it took a bit of getting used to for me, because I played the Sly 2 demo a lot as a kid. So eventually when I said, hey, I'm going to play the Sly series, and started with 1, I did have a bit of a culture shock with it. Oop, you got hit by a fly, you did. Exactly. It was very like, it just gave me very Crash Bandicoot kind of vibes. I had a bit of a culture shock with it. I also found the vehicle sections a little annoying. Other than that, great game. I think 2 might be my favourite at the moment though, just because the nostalgia holds up. Ratata, Komurasaki-san. I probably won't draw a Ratata. Alright, I think we can get rid of the sketch layer. It's a bit distracting. Yeah, see, this is... yeah, I don't like how there's like bits sticking out. That's because of this colouring method I showed chat, but I don't use that method that much, but I thought I'd show chat a lazy way to colour. That I normally don't... I don't do it much, because it does this. It leaves like... and because of the lock transparency at the moment, we can't do anything about it. So let me just finish my shading, and then we'll be able to just use the smudge tool and fill in the blanks. Give Ray a mustache, please, temporarily. Sure, why not? We can do that. Have a little bit of fun. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna give myself a thick brush. Well, let's see. His nose is up here. Do we want like... See, he's a long snake kind of dragon, so he'd probably have like a long kind of mustache, wouldn't he? There we go, like this. And then maybe he'd have a little goatee, like this. If Rayquaza had a mustache, what do you think? Does that satisfy you? Woo! It was great, yeah. Oh, that'd be the kind of mustache I reckon Rayquaza would have if he had one. There you go, a little bit of a drop shadow. Just to give it a bit of pop. Okay. It's a little bit silly, isn't it? Shadow stash, yeah. We had the shadow stash. Alright, yeah, the shading's still a little bit, yeah, because you guys saw with Samael, everything kind of flowed. It looked all like it actually connected. It's still looking like it doesn't connect well with me. So I need a bit more, I'll get that other brush back. I was using a graphite brush. I guess we can use maybe, what was it? What's this one look like? No, that one's still too thick. That one could do okay. Now to find another green. Something a bit softer like that, yeah. Maybe a little bit lighter. This is why I kept the original layer, because I figured if I don't like this I could just delete it and start again. No. Speed Paint of Summer was amazing. Just finished it? Aww. Thank you. Been trying to ease myself back into art, so this has been the second stream of me doing this again, and it feels good. Just wasn't feeling like streaming art for a long time. Was still doing videos, but I just didn't feel like streaming it that much. You know, sometimes we go through moments in our life where we just have to either stop or slow down on something, take a break. Oh, that looks so much better. It actually blends now. Sometimes you just need a break, you know? Exactly. Human beings were not designed to suffer forever, right? And sometimes you just get hit by like a pile of bricks and just need time to kind of recoup. Is this more Sonic stuff, or is this, oh no, this is from Crypt, yeah. I did get recommended some music before the stream, so I added it on, and some of the games I haven't played. This kind of works, yeah. And then I can just, I need to still fix his face. His face is still a little bit weird. Like it doesn't quite... Yeah, I still try to make an effort to draw. I mean, obviously when I played Sly 2, I drew Sly Cooper because I thought, hey, how fitting, I'm gonna draw the Thievius Raccoonus himself, but... And now for Mystery Dungeon, I didn't draw anything for Mystery Dungeon, but I guess I'm doing it now. I'm drawing Rayquaza, and he was the final boss of the game. Spoiler alert, but... I mean, it was set from that era of Pokemon, so I guess it was bound to be the case. This theme's pretty slappy, I'll have to thank my buddy later. We're working on it. Woo! I'm trying to skip the stuff we always listen to. I'm trying to just play the new stuff I got given. There we go. Don't know if it's just me can't hear the music. Oh. The bot is a bit silly. It's alright, Knife. Like, the bot sometimes turns the audio down at random, and it won't tell me. Haha, be gone, buddy. Can hear it? Oh, sweet. Yeah, it just does that sometimes. It'll change songs and then it'll turn the volume all the way down again at no warning. Alright, that's fine. We'll turn that off. I think I had to fix the line art because the line art had this annoying line here that was bugging me. There we go. Kinda sounds like the Sly 1 soundtrack from the Clockwork level? Does it? Oh, this song's from Shin Megami Tensei. Okay, now I'm just gonna go in and kind of blob in the bits I missed out on, because sometimes cheating just creates more work. Isn't that the way of the world? Tried to show chat how to cheat with colouring, but it didn't do me any favours today. On the opacity, turn that up. Where else was I missing a colour? That's the fin? No, is that the fin? No, that should be coloured in too, I think. Yep. And these should be coloured in too. Good luck with the final boss. You're the final boss of artwork. Thank you very much, Knifefly. Take it easy. All the best with your speedrunning. Alright, this is gonna get rid of the aliasing we're getting on the side. Just gonna use a cheeky smudge tool. It's alright, we're gonna... There we go. That's... Method to the madness. There's a method to the madness. Oh man. Press Garden Zone Sonic Mania couldn't be played. Not sure what happened there, Bean, but it doesn't work. That one didn't work, Bean, sorry. It just said could not be played. Star, star, cross, up, star, star, cross. Let's see if we can, hang on, that's not quite. Hang on, just... See, stand. No, it came up with an error saying cannot be played, so it skipped to the next song, yeah. I happened to tab over to read it, and it had like a red thing. Yeah, press garden. It said that cannot be played. It might be some weird URL thing. You know how some YouTube URLs have like a weird thing that stops you from playing them or downloading them or whatever? I think it's probably a similar bug. Name up in the sky. I might do that. No. That looks fine, actually. See you standing. We'll rasterize the layer and then I can just rub the bits out. I think that's going to be five head smart. There we go. It's going to be 5 head big brain smart. Try to fix my mistake from before. This is why I prefer to just color it in myself. Pika! Star, star, cross, lava, star, star, cross, me. Wanna take 'em, wanna shake 'em. And then the yellow bits on the body, I'm gonna do them on a separate layer, because then I could do some fun glow effect. It'll look really cool. Yeah, I think we cleaned up the little pixel aliasing problem. Okay. Yeah, I might as well do the reds on another layer as well. I think that'll be good. While I'm here, should maybe grab the palette. Dark in the sky. I'll have to remember to delete those when I'm done. If you get the opportunity, chat, work with layers. I know some people draw on mobile devices, you know, like Android tablets, iPads, stuff like that. And I know that there's a fair bunch of programs on those sorts of things too. Like I could recommend Ibis Paint X and Medibang. In my opinion, I've used them on both Android and iOS, and they've been pretty great. I know that with a lot of free programs you get limited on layers, but if you're really creative, you just need to know to just delete your sketch layers, to rasterize other layers, and you can combine the stuff, and if you're resourceful, you can make it work. And again, it's another case of limitation breeding creativity. So yeah, if you ever, even if you think that you don't have a computer for drawing, you can still draw on like an old Android tablet, even something from like 2010, even an old 2010 tablet or an old iPad or something. You could always repurpose it, turn it into a little drawing machine. I've definitely done a few speed paints that I've put up on YouTube in the past that I've done on Ibis Paint, and they've been really good. Like I've drawn stuff in Ibis Paint either on my Asus tablet or my old iPad, just to kind of show chat that it can be done, and it's really fun just to kind of use what you got. So yeah, I thought I might as well mention that even on those devices there's some neat programs that you can create work with. And if you need a link, I'll just grab the link for your chat. Okay. This is a link to a blog I wrote which has a bunch of free and open source software and add-ons and stuff that you can use for your creative endeavors. I basically just archived information on what I've used in the past and what I can vouch for. So you might find it useful. Hope it helps somebody. I know it helped me. There we go. We've got the other one hiding under here, the other fin. 1, 2, 3. That's 3 sets our fins. Still finding some anomalies, but we'll clean it up. That's fine. Might as well do the claws on this layer too. I usually pick an off-white just so they don't stand out too much, because we want them to obviously look like their claws, but if they look a little weathered, that's not a bad thing. After all, he is a scaly beastie that probably fights a lot of other Pokemon when he gets disturbed. Now we need to do the gums as well. I mean, I don't know what else you call this section, but we're just going to call it the gums. I might have to go back and tidy the line up a little bit again, but it's looking good. these teeth are actually the regular white color, so I'll have to make sure to do that too. Get a bit darker, like that. And grab this one for the tongue area. Grab that off-white again. Oh yeah, it does connect up, doesn't it? Actually, that's fine because of the shading. Yeah. Like so. Here we go. Here we go. All right. We're grooving. This was looking great. Look at that, we have a tongue. Needs a bit more shading, I reckon. A little bit of a, maybe we'll go half opacity for this bit. Maybe not the right brush for this, but anyway, we'll we can fix that. There we go. Oh, that is a Rayquaza right there. Still got a bit more work to do, but he's shaping up. He's shaping up. It's good. Alright, slight jump cut here, but we're back to drawing Rayquaza. I was doing more colouring in for the reds. Let's see. I'm just going to take my own liberties and just make educated guesses here. Should be right. Have a lot of Hatsune Miku goods. Oh, sugoi, Komurasaki-san. Sugoi. Hatsune Miku kawaii ne. Got it from a friend of mine who works at Kadokawa. Ooh. Kakkoi, Komura-san. Have a friend in Kadokawa who can get you Hatsune Miku goods. Very cool. We're shading this tail up. Alright, that looks okay. We still haven't done the eyeball or the glowy bits on the body, but I did say I was going to do the glowing bits on a different layer. There we go, the iconic yellow eyes. Which I think we're going to layer it a little bit because I always take great pride in how I colour in and shade my eyes and characters. Snake. How do you say snake in Japanese, Komura-san? Snake. Metal Gear. Snake. So how is it pronounced? Towards indicate shore of snake, serpent, but it doesn't tell me the translation. Oh, okay. That ought to do it. It's a bit hard to tell from that size, but it's got a little bit of a speck, a little bit of a shine to it. Let's see. I think that's it for that layer, and then yeah, I'm gonna start working on the body now, but we're gonna also get rid of we're gonna get rid of this palette here. It's been sitting here and we don't want it in the final drawing, so there we go, get rid of that. What layer is this for? I don't know what that's for. I guess that's going to be for our glowy bits. Our nice glowy bits. Which start from behind his head, they go down straight, and then after the arms is where the circles start. Okay. I probably should map this out first with a sketch, to be honest, before I get too deep into this. So again, I'll note that colour there and we'll try and sketch it out. Once again, I just want to figure out how to do this right. Like starts here, goes down. It's because of the angle that I've drawn, him on makes this a little bit tricky to do. But I guess it still goes down this way, and then it passes through here, like that, because you don't see it in this part of the body. And then it's like here, and then it goes that far, and then here's the other bit, before connecting there. And it seems and then each section after that has 2 rings in it. Gotcha, okay. So I'm making sense of the pattern, I guess. So here's another one, and here's another one. Yeah, see? If I didn't map this out, I'd be messing this up. Okay. And then you can't really see the other part here, so it's probably going to be like this, and then connect. And then this bit, go into there, like that. And the reference image, how far does it go up the tail? Okay, the tail stops around here, I guess. And there's one here. And another one over here. And then this bit doesn't have it because it's where the fins are. Yep, okay. So we've mapped that out. That's fine. Oh, okay. I did forget one part of the tail. So this bit here, there's like a black line that I never noticed is on Rayquaza right here. It's right there. So I'll have to go back into the line art and add that in. Yeah, I never noticed that part about Rayquaza before. You learn something new. Yeah. Let's see, we'll do that. Put that at 50. We'll go back to the line art and quickly pencil that in, literally. It's a bit further down, actually. It's like about here. Like so. And that's sorted. Now I need to go back to this layer. I guess I turned this down when I shouldn't have. There we go. And now we're gonna add our lovely glowy bits of Rayquaza, which look really cool. Is invisible. Hypnotic. Oh yeah. That's looking good. Alright, we got the nice fun glowy bits. There we go. I'll get rid of that. We don't need that layer anymore. There we go. And it glows. It's gonna glow even more when I'm done with it. Oh yeah. A little bit of arcing, like so. Alright, and now I'll make a duplicate. And we can do some fun glow effects. Yeah, something like, usually something like screen, but linear dodge is looking good too. Soft light, linear, pin light. Saturation, color, yeah. Luminosity. Luminosity is looking good too. See, it just adds like an extra glow. There we go, something like that. Just adds a nice bit of pop, you know? Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll add the same glow around the eye. Could look cool. I guess I haven't done the extra the extra shading. Oh, would you look at that? He's looking all glowy. That just adds so much to it, that's good. There we go. I don't know what other touches I'd add to it. Maybe I'll just add, let's see, there's another effect I can add underneath the red layer. So I'll just lock these quickly before I make a mistake. I'm probably just going to do this with a regular black pencil, just add a bit of extra shading on top that we can just throw as an effect. Maybe just... Hang on, it won't make sense at the moment, but... It will once I'm done, I think. This is why we gotta experiment a little bit. I'm not sure if it's really how I want it to be. I mean, obviously I was gonna rub out the bits where it's protruding, but I'm not sure if I like, quite like what it's doing. No, not really. Okay. Alright, maybe we'll throw a photo filter on top then, and toy with the, there we go. Adding a bit more of a green tint to it. I think I'm pretty content with that. And then there's usually just like a nice backing layer you put behind Rayquaza just to kind of accentuate the fact that he's a flying creature, so might get, I know originally it had the papery background, but we might change that. Might just fashion up a little bit of a sky for him to be on. At least for this. Alright. And then a bit of an off-white because we want to put maybe some kind of a cloud, like he's just out having a bit of fun, you know, taking a break from hanging out at Sky Pillar or something. Just trying to think about subjectively where he could be, you know. Something like that. I think that brings him out now. I'm happy with this. And if I were to combine up some layers and add like a backdrop, like a bit of a... be able to explain that better if I show you. Just got back. Looks cool. Thank you. I'm not sure what else to do. I think I might be happy with it as is. I'm not sure what else to add to it. Maybe just a bit of a drop shadow. We don't want it to be brown. We want it to be more like something like that. Something like this, and usually the drop shadow helps me unmask any hidden no-nos, like what layer is that on? Probably on this layer. Ugh. Yep, there it is. That's on another layer. Okay, yeah, this is stuff that's come out of the glow layer. Can you feel it? Okay, I think that's all about that bit. And then we'll just need to tidy up the glow layer. Because there's a bit of protrusion from this. I mean, I guess glowing isn't a bad thing, but yeah, I think I'll be able to fashion this into merch chat. You'll be able to see this on like a t-shirt or something. So we have to clean it up, otherwise it's just gonna bleed on the printing and nobody wants that. Come on, Photoshop. Yeah, just save just in case. Wow. It's not leaking from anywhere else? No. Okay. Alright. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. There's a little bit of the line layer I said I was going to tidy just because I'm nitpicky, but you could leave it in there anyway and it'd be a bit rustic. Yeah, okay. I could keep nitpicking at it, but I'd consider it done. Any minor edits I might have to do to it would just be for the print version of this. But we got ourselves a Rayquaza here. I'll close that, but we don't need that any image anymore. Just those bits, yeah. Pretty wrapped with this. It was pretty good. I definitely experimented a lot with how I wanted to go about this, you know, experimenting with the pose of the hands, the overall form, because I wanted to do a bit more of a unique pose because he's very snake-like in the air. It doesn't have to be the exact same poses you see on the internet.